we are going to have a look at the decline of the Hawthorn Football Club. We're going to look at how Hawthorn went from being arguably the greatest side in the history of the AFL to a team that today sits 15th on the AFL ladder, have not won a final in 5 seasons, and have only made the 8th one time in the last 4 seasons. So we'll begin the story at the end of 2015. Hawthorn has just won their 3rd premiership in a row. They have made 4 grand finals in a row. Their VFL side has also been dominant, winning the 2013 premiership, and they were runners-up in the 2014 and the 2015 VFL season. So they go into the 2016 AFL season as raging favourites. Most people think that this is a side that has got years more dominance to come. What's to come is extremely unexpected. Now, Hawthorn have a good season. They make the finals, but they lose the first two finals. Now, this is where it all goes wrong. Sam Mitchell wins the Hawthorn's best and fairest. Jordan Lewis finishes second in the Hawthorn best and fairest. Hawthorn, bizarrely, sacks both of these players. Sam Mitchell goes to West Coast, where he plays 22 matches and 2 finals, while Jordan Lewis goes to Melbourne, where he plays 19 matches in his first season and 24 matches in his second season. Neither of these players were injury-prone. Neither of these players were out of form. The third absolutely bizarre thing that the Hawthorn Football Club did at the end of the 2016 season was they traded Bradley Hill. Now, Bradley Hill had instant success for Fremantle. He goes on to win their best and fairest, beating out Nathan Fyfe, who is a 2-time Brownlow Medal winner, and Lachie Neale, who is today's Brownlow Medal favourite. Now, Lachie Neale was a big-time player in 2017. The previous year, Lachie Neale had broken the VFL/AFL disposal record. No player in the history of the VFL/AFL had ever had more disposals than what Lachie Neale did in 2016. So clearly, the 3 players that Hawthorn delisted at the end of 2016 had huge seasons in 2017. Hawthorn did not fare so well, though. Hawthorn misses the 2017 final series. At the end of the 2017 season, they again make a couple of just bizarre delistings, which really, to me, have no explanation, no sensible explanation. They forced Josh Gibson into retirement. Now, Josh Gibson was one of the main reasons for Hawthorn's dominant success. He won the best and fairest in 2013 and 2015. So he won 2 best and fairest in premiership years. Luke Hodge is forced into retirement. Now, if you watch Luke Hodge's press conference when he retires, it is very obvious that Luke Hodge did not retire. He was pushed. And what Luke Hodge says, he toes the party Hawthorn line that Hawthorn have so many young players who are ready to take the next step. And Hawthorn was going to fast track these young players. And this may not pay off straight away, but in 2 to 3 years' time, which is now, Hawthorn would see a benefit for fast tracking these young players. So they're going to move Josh Gibson out, move Luke Hodge out, and fast track the kids. Now, Luke Hodge didn't stay retired for long. Brisbane jumped on him. Brisbane signed him up. Luke Hodge then went on to play 2 extremely good seasons for the Brisbane Lions. The second season that Luke Hodge played, Brisbane finished second. So Luke Hodge wasn't good enough to play for Hawthorn, but he was good enough to play for the Brisbane Lions, who finished second. Figure that one out. Then comes 2018, and Hawthorn have a really good season. Now, they finish 4th. But what for me is very interesting about the 2018 season is they finish 4th without Josh Gibson, Luke Hodge, Sam Mitchell, Jordan Lewis, and Bradley Hill. They finished 4th. Now, to show how close they were in 2018 from another premiership, their percentage was 1% lower than West Coast and 0.3% lower than Collingwood, who were the runners-up. I have no doubt that if Hawthorn had kept their players, had it kept Hodge, had it kept Gibson, had it kept Lewis, had it kept Mitchell, and had it kept Bradley Hill, they easily could have won that 2018 Premiership. I have no doubt that with those players, they were a better team than West Coast, and they were a better team than Collingwood. But instead, they finished fourth, and that is the last time that Hawthorn have made the eight. Now, 2019, they finished ninth. And at the end of the 2019 season, again, they get rid of a four-time Premiership player, Grant Birchall. He goes to the Brisbane Lions. Now, again, the same as Luke Hodge, Grant Birchall has been extremely good for the Brisbane Lions. Now, the Brisbane Lions currently are the flag favourites. So again, let's look at this. Grant Birchall isn't good enough to play for Hawthorn, who were 15th, but he's good enough to play for the flag favourites, the Brisbane Lions. How does that make any sense? And now we come to where we are today. Hawthorn are currently 15th after 14 matches. And when you have a look at their list, all their best players are aging. And then the younger players are all injury prone. Patton, O'Meara, Tom Mitchell, they've all had massive time out of the game. But I think that the big point of this is that Hawthorn, if you analyse what Hawthorn was saying in 2016 when they got rid of Lewis, they got rid of Mitchell, and then a year later when they got rid of Hodge and Gibson, they were going to fast-track kids, and they were going to be better in 2 to 3 years. Now, that's already been and gone. 2019's gone. 2020's gone. Fast-tracking the kids didn't work. And I think that the big thing too is a lot of people think now that they got rid of Lewis and they got rid of Mitchell because they couldn't afford to keep them under the salary cap. This is not true. Alistair Clarkson said on SEN that the Hawthorn had room to keep Mitchell and Lewis, as you can see here. Hawthorn decided to get rid of them for reasons that, to me, make no sense. In the history of the AFL, no side has ever sacked their first and their second best players in the best and fairest. In the history of the VFL/AFL. If I'm wrong, someone please correct me. But as far as I know, no team has ever sacked first and second in the best and fairest. And Hawthorn did this for no reason. Neither player had any injury issues, and neither player was even close to being out of form. So I'd love to hear the comments on what people think of my take on the decline of the Hawthorn Football Club. I cannot see Hawthorn returning to the finals for at least 3 to 5 years. When you look at their list, they are aging. They've got injury-prone players. And to me, the fast-tracking of the kids didn't work. The same as it didn't work with Melbourne, and it hasn't worked with St Kilda and a heap of other teams. So leave me your comments, and hopefully I'm wrong, but I think Hawthorn are going to be down for a long time.